Hello listeners. Today's story will be Moonlit Melodies of the Heart in the halls of academia, amidst the pages of textbooks and the silent echoes of a tragic past, resides Marcus Reeves. Revered for his brilliance but shrouded in loneliness, he navigates college life with a heavy heart. Burdened by the loss of his parents and left with their legacy, his search for purpose intertwines with his pursuit of knowledge. Moonlit Melodies of the Heart invites you into Marcus's world, a journey of grief, resilience, and the quest for belonging. The library is my sanctuary, a quiet refuge amidst the bustling college campus. Surrounded by towering stacks of books, I bury myself in my studies. My pen moves swiftly across the pages, deciphering complex equations and theories. "Hey, Marcus, you're always buried in those books. You should come hang out with us sometime," a passing student calls out, but I merely nod, my focus unwavering. Hang out? With them? What for? I wonder, but the thought quickly dissipates as I return to my work. The fluorescent lights hum overhead, casting a sterile glow on my diligent efforts. Despite the muted noise of students passing by, I feel alone in this sea of knowledge. Respected for my academic prowess, yet devoid of companions in this pursuit. They don't understand. How could they? Equations are my sanctuary, a refuge from the haunting memories that linger in the shadows of my mind. I can't shake off the vivid recollection of the day my parents were taken from me in a car accident. Their absence left me with their family name as the only relic of their existence. What am I working towards? Each stroke of my pen feels like an attempt to fill the void in my life, a void devoid of friendships, aspirations, and a clear sense of direction. The weight of my parents' legacy hangs over me, both a mantle of pride and a burden I'm not sure how to carry. The library provides solace, but it can't replace the warmth of family or the joy of genuine connections. And so, amidst the stacks of books and the solitude of my study spot, I, Marcus Reeves, remain the lonely student, burying my sorrows under a mountain of textbooks. The crowded hallways echoed with the hurried footsteps of students rushing to their next class. Lost in my thoughts, I made my way through the maze of bodies, my mind preoccupied with the weight of my studies. It's getting late, I should head back to the dorm, I reminded myself, my steps becoming more purposeful. Suddenly, it happened, an unforeseen collision that disrupted the rhythm of the bustling corridor. In an instant, I stumbled, losing my balance and sending a cascade of books tumbling from the arms of a passing student. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," I blurted out, my face flushed with embarrassment as I scrambled to collect the fallen books. "It's all right, no harm done," a gentle voice responded, and I looked up to see her, Emily, a quiet and unassuming girl, smiling down at me. "Smooth move, Marcus. Nice first impression," I mentally chastised myself, feeling the cringe of my clumsiness. Her warmth was striking, contrasting the chaos of the scattered books around us. With a few swift strides, she knelt beside me, taking charge of gathering the wayward books strewn across the floor. "I should have been watching where I was going," I babbled, my words stumbling over each other in my nervousness. "It happens," she reassured me softly, her voice as gentle as a whisper. "Looks like our paths were destined to cross, thanks to your textbooks. Say something, Marcus. Anything." My mind raced, but my tongue felt tied in knots, rendering me speechless. She glanced up from the books, her eyes meeting mine. "I'm Emily," she offered, a shy smile on her lips. Marcus," I managed to blurt out, my voice betraying my unease. With that chance encounter, our worlds collided, books scattered, barriers broken, and a new connection forged in the unlikeliest of ways. As the last book found its place, I felt a rush of panic. Without a word, I hastily gathered my belongings, stumbling over an apology, and dashed away, my cheeks burning with embarrassment. I bolted down the hallway, feeling Emily's eyes on my retreating figure, and slammed my dorm room door shut, my heart pounding in my chest. The morning sun filtered through the window, casting a warm glow on my cluttered desk. I sat in my usual spot in the lecture hall, surrounded by familiar faces engrossed in the professor's words. But my mind was elsewhere. Chemistry equations danced before my eyes, but none of them made sense. My thoughts kept circling back to the encounter with Emily, the clumsy collision that had thrown my world off kilter. "Focus, Marcus," I urged myself, trying in vain to divert my attention to the lecture. However, Emily's face seemed etched into every corner of the room. Her laughter echoed in my mind, disrupting any attempt at concentration. It was as though the mere thought of her had cast a spell, rendering me incapable of rational thought. My gaze wandered across the rows of students, and suddenly, it hit me, Emily was here, in most of my classes. How had I never noticed before? Emily's in chemistry, and literature, and calculus. The realization dawned on me like a revelation. The once mundane lecture hall now held an inexplicable allure, each corner carrying the memory of her presence. Chemistry equations intertwined with the memory of her shy smile, literature discussions tainted by the awkwardness of our first encounter, and calculus problems masked by the echo of her laughter. How did I miss this? As the professor's voice faded into the background, self-mocking echoes reverberated in my mind, the play-by-play commentary of my clumsy performance when Emily and I first met. Smooth moves, Marcus, I mimicked my earlier sarcasm, the memory of my awkwardness taunting me amidst the classroom distractions. Caught in a whirlwind of contemplation, the realization of Emily's constant presence in my academic world left me reeling, struggling to navigate the classes that were now tinged with the haunting presence of a girl who had unintentionally monopolized my thoughts. I stood by my locker, lost in a futile attempt to organize the chaos of my textbooks. Amidst the cacophony of locker slams and hurried footsteps, a soft tap on my shoulder sent a jolt of surprise through my nerves. "Marcus," Emily's voice called out. I froze, the suddenness of her tapping rendering me momentarily statue-like. Slowly turning around, I managed a feeble nod, my lips attempting to form a coherent response that never quite materialized. "Hey, I was wondering if, maybe we could study together?" Emily asked, her words hanging in the air as I tried to recover from my temporary paralysis. Study? I echoed, my voice cracking embarrassingly. "Smooth, Marcus. Real smooth," I berated myself as she waited for my response. "Sure." I blurted out a tad too enthusiastically, my cheeks flaming with embarrassment. The journey to the library felt like an eternity, each step filled with the awkwardness of unspoken words. Emily led the way, occasionally glancing back to ensure I was still following, while I trailed behind, feeling like an awkward shadow. "So, how was your morning?" I attempted a conversation, my voice a tad too loud in the otherwise quiet hallway. "Good, I guess," Emily replied, her tone carrying a hint of amusement. "Great job, Marcus." Small talk, epic fail, I chided myself as we continued the walk. Despite my discomfort, I couldn't help but steal glances at Emily. Her gentle smile, the way a stray strand of hair fell across her face, and the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed, all of it captivated my attention in a way I couldn't shake off. The library doors creaked open as we entered, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that my steps were out of sync, an awkward dance in the symphony of academia. "Here we are," Emily said cheerfully, choosing a table amidst the quiet sea of study spaces. I followed, feeling every step magnified in its awkwardness. Each move seemed choreographed in a clumsy ballet as I stumbled over an errant chair and nearly knocked over a towering pile of books. Could I be any clumsier? Attempting to focus on the task at hand, studying, proved to be an Olympic-level challenge. Every attempt at understanding the material dissolved into a comedy of errors. As the study session drew to a close, I couldn't help but marvel at the absurdity of our attempts to conquer the academic labyrinth together, one clumsy step at a time. "Well, thanks for studying with me," I stuttered, my words hanging in the air, laced with a hint of relief. "Yeah, thanks, Marcus," Emily replied, her smile softening the edges of the awkwardness that enveloped us. Our parting felt like the final act in a comedy of errors, the lingering awkwardness echoing in the quiet space between us. I stumbled into my dorm room, my heart pounding erratically against my chest as if trying to escape its bony cage. The wall seemed to close in on me, amplifying the chaos within. Droplets of sweat trickled down my forehead, betraying the nervous turmoil churning inside. "Why am I sweating so much?" I mused, wiping my clammy palms on my jeans. The awkward encounter with Emily lingered like an unshakable fog in my mind. I collapsed onto my bed, a tumultuous mix of emotions surging through me. Thoughts of Emily occupied every nook and cranny of my mind, each detail about her etched vividly in my thoughts. That smile, I thought, a faint smile ghosting my lips. The way her laughter danced through the air, the gentle warmth of her presence, I couldn't shake off the vivid memories. Her subtle grace and the way she effortlessly navigated conversations, each word carrying a certain charm, left me in awe. I admired her ease in a world where I stumbled clumsily, my thoughts a jumbled mess in comparison. How does she do it? Despite the chaos in my mind, I couldn't deny the excitement bubbling within, the thrill of having crossed paths with someone so captivating, someone who had unknowingly woven herself into the fabric of my thoughts.
Emily sat by her window, a book in hand, but her thoughts were elsewhere, lingering on the encounter with Marcus. She found herself smiling at the memory of his awkward charm, his endearing fumbles and their conversation replaying in her mind like a heartwarming comedy. "He's different," she mused softly to herself, tracing her finger over the book's cover absent-mindedly. In a good way. The sincerity in his nervousness resonated with her, his vulnerability drawing her curiosity. His eyes held a depth she couldn't quite decipher, a mystery that beckoned her to unravel its layers. There's something about him. With a gentle sigh, she closed the book, letting her thoughts drift back to the unexpected encounter, a smile lingering on her lips as she wondered what other quirks and surprises Marcus might hold beneath his awkward exterior.
The room felt suffocating as I sat alone, my thoughts a tumultuous storm raging within. Emily's presence seemed like a distant dream, her laughter a mere echo in the corridors of my mind. Does she even like me? The question lingered like an unspoken ache, each beat of my heart whispering doubts I couldn't shake off. The memory of a past love haunted my thoughts, a love that once filled my world but was cruelly snatched away by the merciless hands of fate. Cancer had stolen her from me, leaving behind a void that echoed with an unbearable silence. Maybe I'm not meant for this. The weight of that loss hung heavy, casting a shadow on any budding emotions. The fear of opening up again, of letting someone new into the caverns of my heart, gripped me in its icy embrace. The scars of that loss ran deep, a constant reminder that love came with an unbearable price. Can I even love again? The thought of embracing new emotions felt like standing on the edge of a precipice, the fear of falling far more terrifying than the prospect of loneliness. That night, in their separate spaces, Marcus and Emily lay lost in thought. In his dorm room, Marcus was restless, thoughts of Emily mixing with his uncertainties. He lay on his bed, replaying their interactions in his mind, a faint smile crossing his lips despite his worries. Meanwhile, in her room, Emily was wrapped in blankets, her mind filled with thoughts of Marcus. As she closed her eyes, his image lingered, leaving her curious and a bit unsure. Unaware of each other's contemplation, they both fell asleep, their dreams intertwining their thoughts, desires, and uncertainties. And as night embraced them, Marcus and Emily drifted into slumber, their connection lingering in the realm of dreams. As dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of soft pink and golden hues, excitement buzzed through the corridors of Marcus and Emily's respective spaces. At Marcus's dorm, the promise of a new day brought a glimmer of anticipation. He roused from his restless slumber, the prospect of the school fair, a bustling carnival-like event, stirring a flicker of curiosity in his heart. The aroma of coffee wafted through the air as he prepared for the day ahead, a hint of nervous energy mingling with his morning routine. Meanwhile, in her room, Emily greeted the morning with a sense of eagerness. She adorned herself in casual attire, a spark of enthusiasm dancing in her eyes. The prospect of the fair, a day filled with vibrant colors, merry-go-rounds, laughter, and countless attractions, set her pulse racing with excitement. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Marcus and Emily embarked on their journey to the fairgrounds, a mere coincidence drawing their paths to converge amidst the multitude of stalls, rides, and games. In the heart of their excitement lay a quiet wish, a silent hope that amidst the carousel of activities and joyous chaos, they would cross paths, their eyes meeting in the midst of the vibrant festivities, and perhaps, find a moment of connection amidst the bustling crowds. Amidst the vibrant chaos of the fair, Marcus found himself stationed at the ticket booth, a commitment prompted by his counselor's gentle nudging to engage more socially. What had initially seemed like a forced endeavor now held an unexpected allure, a chance to break free from his solitude and perhaps, connect with someone new. Okay, Marcus, you can do this, he coached himself silently, his palms sweating against the ticket stubs. Just keep an eye out, and maybe, just maybe, she'll show up. With every ticket transaction, Marcus's eyes scanned the teeming crowds, an underlying eagerness to spot a particular figure. The bustling fairgrounds echoed with joyous exclamations, but his focus remained fixed on the hope of encountering a certain girl, a flicker of anticipation amidst his designated responsibility. Why did I agree to this? Doubt gnawed at him, the prospect of interaction both thrilling and unnerving him. What if she doesn't come? What if she does? Weeks earlier, at the counselor's suggestion, he had signed up for this role, a small step toward breaking the walls of his isolation. While his heart harbored a desire to meet this girl, the prospect of interaction both thrilled and unnerved him, a blend of hope and uncertainty coloring his moments at the booth. As minutes crawled by, he couldn't shake off the anticipation brewing within him. Each ticket transaction was tinged with the silent wish for her arrival, a hopeful yearning to make a connection amid the vibrant ambience of the fair. The fair hummed with activity, and I manned the ticket booth, eyes scanning the crowd with a mix of anticipation and uncertainty. The distant chatter faded into the background as my thoughts revolved around Emily, whose arrival I eagerly anticipated, her image lingering in my mind's eye. Will Emily even show up? Suddenly, a commotion near the fair's entrance caught my attention. Among the bustling crowd, a disheveled figure emerged, running in a hurry. As she drew closer, I recognized her, it was Emily. Her clothes were askew, a mix of worry and determination etched on her face. Is that Emily? With disheveled hair and slightly rumpled attire, she dashed towards the ticket booth, her arrival marked by a flurry of unexpected chaos. Her hurried steps mirrored the urgency in her expression, a testament to some unforeseen event causing her delay. Something must have happened. My heart raced as she approached, a swirl of concern and curiosity gripping me. Her appearance, far from the composed image I had imagined, held an unforeseen authenticity that drew me in, an unexpected vulnerability that felt strangely familiar. Should I say something? Before I could gather my thoughts, she arrived at the booth, breathless and flustered, her eyes scanning the area, searching for someone, or perhaps, something. Amidst the whirl of the fair, everything else faded into insignificance as Emily's hurried steps echoed towards me. In that moment, my world condensed into a singular focus, her. Her disheveled appearance did little to diminish her captivating aura. Instead, it accentuated an authenticity that drew me in, captivating my attention like a spell. My gaze fixated on her, oblivious to the bustling crowds and surrounding chaos. Every detail was vivid, the stray strands of hair framing her face, her hurried breaths betraying the rush of urgency, and the sheer determination in her eyes. Time seemed to dilate, elongating the moments in a surreal trance. Is she all right? Her presence was magnetic, each step closer felt like an eternity, an unforeseen allure enveloping me. My mind conjured fleeting images, as if caught in a reverie, the memory of her etched vividly against the canvas of my thoughts. She's breathtaking. Amidst the ruffled clothes and the hastened steps, a kind of authenticity radiated from her, a rawness that resonated with my own vulnerabilities. Despite the chaos that seemed to swirl around her, she held an ethereal grace that arrested my senses. As Emily drew closer, my heart raced with an inexplicable fervor, my mind ensnared by her mere presence. Her words, explaining the delayed arrival, reached my ears as distant echoes, struggling to pierce the veil of fascination she cast upon me. She's speaking, Marcus. Focus. I'm late. There was this unexpected thing with the bus. A tire explosion or something. It was quite a mess. Her voice, tinged with urgency, should have stirred a response, a semblance of acknowledgement or understanding. But my attention, my entire being, seemed elsewhere, held captive by the captivating essence she exuded. Pay attention. She's talking to you. Marcus? Her voice echoed with concern, a gentle prodding to bridge the gap I had inadvertently created. I wanted to respond, to reassure her, but my thoughts were consumed by her presence, a mesmerizing force I couldn't shake off. What was she saying? Despite my internal plea for focus, her words dissolved into mere murmurs, lost amidst the reverie her presence invoked. Her concerned expression remained fixed in my peripheral vision, a testament to my unintentional detachment. Snap out of it. But the spell she wove seemed unbreakable, leaving me adrift in a whirlwind of fascination and distraction. As I teetered on the brink of my own distraction, lost in the captivating aura Emily emanated, her voice reached me like a distant echo in the vast expanse of my mind. Marcus? Her concern lingered in the air, a gentle plea to bridge the chasm of my unintended detachment. I willed myself to respond, to anchor my focus, but the ethereal presence she exuded seemed to pull me deeper into its allure. Focus, Marcus. Before I could reclaim my scattered thoughts, a gentle touch graced my arm, a feather-like contact that sent a jolt through me, a sensation that reverberated like an awakening. Emily's fingertips, warm against my skin, seemed to dissolve the enchantment that held me captive. It was as though her touch sparked an electric current, grounding me back to the present moment. What was that? A tingling sensation spread from the point where her touch lingered, resonating within me, an unexpected surge of awareness that cut through the hazy spell she had cast. Her concerned gaze met mine, and for a fleeting moment, our eyes locked in an unspoken understanding, a shared sensation that bridged the transient gap between us. Lost in the whirlwind of sensations stirred by Emily's touch, I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. Startled, I turned to find my counselor, a knowing smile playing on her lips, as if she had deciphered the unspoken dynamics between Emily and me. Marcus, she began, her voice laced with a subtle encouragement, why don't you take a break from the booth and enjoy the fair for a bit? You've been doing a great job here. Her words carried a tacit understanding, a silent permission to embrace the fleeting moments awaiting me outside the confines of the booth, a chance to break free from obligations and delve into the festivities. Go ahead, she insisted gently, her eyes twinkling with a hint of understanding, as if nudging me toward an opportunity that lay beyond the confines of responsibility. As if in sync with her suggestion, Emily extended her hand towards me, a silent invitation glistening in her eyes, an offer to share in the jubilant chaos of the fair, an unspoken plea for an unexpected escapade. The fair unfolded into a tapestry of joy and wonder as Emily and I ventured into a whirlwind of excitement. We laughed, explored, and indulged in every adventure the fair had to offer, our joy infectious, our moments vivid and carefree. We braved the towering Ferris wheel, our laughter echoing across the fairgrounds as we soared high above, stealing glimpses of the bustling carnival below. The dizzying spins on the carousel became an impromptu competition, each of us vying to catch the most rings, our friendly rivalry sparking endless amusement. Amidst the rows of vibrant stalls, we engaged in games of skill and chance, triumphantly claiming plush toys as tokens of our shared victories. The mouth-watering aromas of cotton candy and popcorn danced in the air, and we indulged our taste buds in these fairground delights, sharing laughter over sticky fingers and sugary grins. In a quieter corner of the fair, we stumbled upon a quaint art exhibit, marveling at the creativity on display. The vivid strokes and intricate sculptures stirred conversations that flowed effortlessly, each piece becoming a springboard for our shared thoughts and musings. As the sun began its descent, casting a warm golden hue across the fairgrounds, Emily turned to me with a sparkle in her eyes. "Marcus, there's this amazing secret pond nearby that I often visit to relax," she said, a hint of excitement lacing her voice. "Would you like to come with me? It's a magical place." Her invitation held a promise of tranquility and mystery, a chance to escape the vivacious chaos of the fairgrounds and delve into a hidden sanctuary. We arrived at the secluded sanctuary that Emily had unveiled, a hidden gem nestled amid nature's embrace. As I stepped into this clandestine haven, an overwhelming sense of calm washed over me. Wow, it's so calm and beautiful. The pond lay before us, a shimmering expanse of tranquil waters reflecting the hues of the setting sun. The surface was a canvas of serene ripples, each gentle wave carrying the whispers of tranquility. The surroundings exuded an untouched allure, a verdant tapestry of lush greenery cocooning us in a cloak of natural splendor. The symphony of chirping birds and rustling leaves replaced the vibrant clamor of the fair, lulling me into a sense of peace I hadn't felt in ages. "This is enchanting." I found myself drawn to the edge of the pond, captivated by the mirrored reflection of the serene sky. The world seemed to pause in this pristine moment, offering a respite from the chaos, a silent refuge where time held no dominion. Emily stood nearby, her silhouette a part of this picturesque scene. Her presence added to the tranquility, amplifying the beauty of this hidden oasis, a shared moment suspended in the tranquility of nature's embrace. "It's so peaceful here," Emily murmured softly, her voice breaking the tranquil silence, inviting conversation. "Yeah, it's breathtaking," I replied, the calmness of the place intensifying my introspection. The stillness seemed to urge us to share, to unravel the chapters of our lives hidden behind guarded facades. "You know, Marcus, this place, it holds a special significance for me. It's where I come to find solace, to remember." Her admission sparked an urge within me to disclose my own scars, to let her glimpse the depths of my own sorrow. "I lost my parents," I revealed, my voice soft but heavy with the weight of a past tragedy. "It was a car accident. I was in college when it happened. I lost everything, except their last name." The pond mirrored the ache in my words, its tranquil surface reflecting the depth of emotions I struggled to articulate. "It's been a lonely journey ever since," I confessed, my gaze fixed on the water, the memories vivid despite the passage of time. Emily listened attentively, her eyes conveying a depth of understanding. After a moment's pause, she softly shared her own pain. "I lost someone very close to me," she began, her voice carrying a weight of sorrow. "My younger sister, to an illness. It was devastating." Her vulnerability echoed the depths of my own grief, weaving our shared sorrow into an unspoken bond. "I'm sorry, Emily," I offered, empathy intertwining our stories. Her nod was a silent acknowledgement, bridging our painful pasts in a shared moment of understanding and compassion. Emily gazed at the tranquil pond, her eyes reflecting a well of emotions. "You know, Marcus, losing someone close to us, it changes us in ways we can't imagine. It carves deep voids in our hearts, but it also teaches us the importance of cherishing every moment. We can't change the past, but we can shape our future." Her words carried a wisdom that transcended her years, a profound understanding born from her own sorrow. "You're right, Emily," I responded, my voice carrying a quiet determination. "Our losses don't define us, but they shape who we become. It's like we carry their memories forward, embracing the lessons they left behind. We honor them by living our lives fully, by finding strength in their absence." My words echoed with a resonance, a testament to the wisdom born from the depths of my own grief. There was a shared understanding between us, a mutual recognition that our losses, though painful, had bestowed upon us a wisdom that few could comprehend. The weight of unspoken words bore heavily on my heart as I walked beside Emily. The moon, an ethereal sentinel in the night sky, seemed to urge the confession I longed to make. Should I tell her? Is it the right time? Each step toward the bridge felt like a leap into the unknown, the moon casting its serene glow upon our silent journey. The beauty of the night veiled the nervous anticipation that pulsed within me. As we approached the bridge, a serene tranquility enveloped us. The moon's gentle radiance illuminated our path, urging me to unburden my heart. "Emily," I stammered, my voice catching in the tranquility of the night. I love you." Before Emily could respond, a wordless understanding seemed to pass between us. Her eyes, shimmering beneath the moon's gaze, encouraged me to speak my truth. With hesitant steps, I confessed, "I love you." The weight of my admission hung in the air, a cosmic symphony echoing within the silent night. In a moment pregnant with shared emotions, Emily closed the distance between us, wordlessly understanding the depth of my feelings. The moon, a celestial witness to our encounter, bathed us in its luminescence. In that fleeting moment on the moonlit bridge, our lips met in a tender, affirming kiss, a silent testament to the unspoken bond that bound us. Under the watchful gaze of the moon, our hearts spoke volumes, echoing the promise of a new beginning. As we stood on the moonlit bridge, the tranquility of the night wrapped around us like a familiar embrace. The moon, casting its soft radiance upon us, painted a serene backdrop for the unspoken emotions lingering in the air. In the quietude of the night, our eyes met, each gaze a silent conversation that transcended words. Emily's eyes held a galaxy of emotions, affection, understanding, and a glimmer of a future yet to unfold. Is this the start of something new? My heart swelled with a warmth that seemed to emanate from her gaze, a silent affirmation of the connection we shared. I felt a rush of hope intertwine with the depth of my affection for her. In that suspended moment, our unspoken promises hung in the air, a whispered pledge to navigate the uncharted paths together, to explore the depths of our feelings without the need for words. The moon, a tranquil witness to our silent exchange, seemed to bless our union, its light an ethereal benediction upon our intertwined destinies. And as we stood there, immersed in the profoundness of our shared gaze, a gentle breeze carried the promise of new beginnings, a whisper of hope amidst the tranquil night. Our story continues, I thought, smiling softly as I held Emily's gaze, knowing that the moonlit bridge was just the beginning of a journey yet to unfold.